Hello and welcome. I'm getting ready to start my second playthrough of this. I did create a addendum video suggesting that people understand the first playthrough was a little rocky because I didn't fully understand the rules. I'm creating this video for two reasons. Number one, I do think I can do a better job, and I'm going to. And then number two, I had a lot of fun, so I wanted to play it again. And we lost miserably. For those of you who did watch the first one, and I'm sorry if I spoiled it for everybody else. So what I did was I just set up the game so we can give another crack at this. I want another crack at the training module. I asked my superiors, and they gave me permission to come out of the brig and try again. So I have it completely set up with the exception of these are the ones that I can put anywhere on the board. So I have the hunting team, the Women's Institute, and then Reynolds with his shotgun, Taylor with his Lanchester, and then Thorncroft with his blunderbuss. So as we went through and discussed last time, these grenades they're crap. So the fact that some of the home guard has nothing but a grenade is not good for us. So part of my strategy is I want to get them back to the church so they can get equipped with better equipment. That's one thing I want to do. I have issues like, for example, James Arnold there also has no weapon, and his attack value is 0, so he's not very good with the weapon. He does have a good melee value of 8, but we already discussed that melee is actually really hard to hit with. His primary benefit is he can help us unjam weapons and stuff, especially if it's in the garage. So then we have our physician there in the surgery, very important to the team, and so we're going to use him a little bit better. So what do we want to do? The first thing I wanted to show you guys is I was very frustrated that it never said anywhere in the book what the 4 secondary defense points are, and I think I found it, but it's just to think because so there's 2 things about this. This is how scoring is done at the end of the game if we actually were to win, which we never did yet. But I want to point out 2 things. The first one is it lists 4 locations here, and you get 10 points for the bridge, the main road, the schoolhouse, and the police station. I think those are the 4 points that keep getting referred to in the manual as the secondary objectives. So what's interesting is the bridge is right here, and the schoolhouse is immediately after it. So those 2 are right next to each other. And I think we can hold them, because remember how I had the big pub strategy? The pub strategy worked. It truly did. And then if you come over here, the main road, which we discussed, there was so many events that needed the main road, and I gave that up way too easy. And then the last one is the police station, which is right there, and that would also make sense that we need to hold the police station. So one thing of note, if you'll notice, is that nothing from the south matters, and also really nothing from the north, except the police station can be nope, nothing from the north matters either. So we can choose defensively to lose ground in both of those areas and hold the west and the east a little stronger. Also, it was my experience that they spawn mostly from the west and east, but that could have just been, I don't know how scientific that was. That could have just been, how the last time went and have no actual statistical merit. The other thing I want to point out is this +5 merits here for each space below 15 on the invasion marker. So remember, the invasion marker moves down, and for every space below, you get 5 points. So there's this constant debate on, do we draw this card or do we draw this card? And one of the conservative strategies is you just spend the whole game doing nothing but drawing this card. And because you're trying to prevent that invasion marker from moving forward. That is a strategy that I think is stronger from the perspective that you get 5 points for every space below 15. So this is going to maximize your ability to be as far below 15 as possible. If you constantly draw this card. I've admitted many times that this is like the biggest and toughest choice in the game, and it still is. But whenever you're playing your game, if you want to try this, where you do nothing but this, it does reward you for that. And so that could be something beneficial. I don't know what the right path is in that regard. Okay, so we have to place our guys, and this Taylor here is probably the best person we have in the game. You can see he has a 3 and a 2, and I'm going to put him in the main road to help defend the main road. And then we have Reynolds with the shotgun, and we learned that he and Daisy have a thing. Okay, thanks, Jason. And I'm going to put him over here with Daisy. So they'll stay together, just like last time. And we learned that Thorncroft doesn't really care much for Reynolds. So I'm going to put him up north to help these guys defend. And then we have the Women's Institute and the Sussex Hunt. And here you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be, if we put one of these in there, that'd be 5, 6. And I can't do the other because we have stacking limits. These two are useless without weapons. So we want them to have weapons. So I'm going to put one in here. I'm going to put the Hunt Club in there for weapons. And the Women's Institute, I'm just going to put next to it so they can easily move in and get a weapon. The next debate is how quickly do we want to find the chaplain? And I think we want to find it sooner rather than later, because as you noticed later in the game, it got really hectic with all the spawns of enemies. And if we can get the chaplain thing resolved, that will help. Now what I did was I moved this guy in. He increases the stacking limit by 2. So if I put him, like for example, in the church can now hold 9, although he's going to take, one of the spots, but for himself. But still, it increases stacking limit, so he's not that bad. He was our chaplain in the last game, and we did it because if you look on here, Arthur Pendrake was a 7, and we knew that we had the best odds of arresting him. The traitor is just whoever you roll, right? And they have to be in the location that you're also in. So what I did was I moved Pendrake over to the police station, and then I moved Edith over, and that was it. So one other thing I can do is I can just move Edith in there, and then we just keep rolling until Edith fails. It's possible we can go the entire game and we'd never roll the 3 that we need to arrest her, but she does let us roll twice. That's the one nice thing about having her there. The other thing we can do is we can make sure that Sergeant Drake is in the church, which has a stacking limit of 7, and then we can put more characters in the church, so it increases our chances of arresting somebody. The Home Guard can never be the whatchamacallit, the chaplain. That's the one issue. James Arnold getting arrested is not a bad idea either. He was completely useless for us last game. And I know that he rolls better for repairs and whatnot, but you can repair even if you don't have him. The surgeon, we want to keep as far away from him as possible. We do not want the surgeon to be the chaplain. Drayden Fox would be another one that would be nice to arrest. After all, he does work for CNN. I mean, who thinks that they're not biased? Let's go with these locations. I think we're going to start with that for now. And then let's start with turn 1. Well, actually, it's pre-invasion. So, as I mentioned on one of my videos, I have this pre-invasion. I printed out from Board Game Geek the steps for every round, which is extremely helpful. So that'll help me to speed up this game. And I know I'm 9 minutes in and I'm just starting, so my apologies. And let's go ahead and get going. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an equipment marker and place it in any square. And then we can move one unit to a square of our choice. So we can start moving stuff around. And then we roll a 1d6. And if it's greater than the current pre-invasion turn number, we advance the turn marker 1 space and conduct a new deployment phase. If the result is less than the current pre-invasion turn number, the invasion is underway, and the turn marker goes back to turn 1, and the invasion marker goes to space 2 of the invasion track. So right now we're on, quote, turn 1. So no matter what, we're going to get to draw 2 pieces of equipment, because you can see here, it can never be less than, well, oh, it could be equal. Never mind. So we could get screwed early. All right, so our first thing we drew is a crappy mills. I'm going to go ahead and just put it here with the gammon, just because grenades stink. And the gammon goes away the moment you use it, so he at least can have 2 of them. We get to move somebody now, and I'm thinking I'm going to move Edith to here, because I'm setting up the trader thing, the trader mechanic. All right, and then we're going to roll, and we just don't want to get a 1. I got a 5. Okay, so this moves to turn 2. And now we're going to draw again. And this time we get a gammon. Boy, we're not doing too well. It could be worse. Don't get me wrong. There's so many nice things in there, and we're just getting crappy crap. All right, so we want a 3 or higher. And we got a 3. So we move to a 3. And let's keep going. This is further than we made it last time. So let's get something good. Big bucks, no whammies. Crap. So we got a pistol. It's not a good pistol at all. However, I can put it anywhere on the board. That part is good. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to Daisy Woods here. I know it's not a great pistol, but it's better than nothing. So now she at least has a ranged attack. And now we need to roll a 4 or better. And we rolled a 3, so it's over. So now this resets back to turn 1. This goes to 2, and off we go. So this sheet is no longer needed. You can put that aside. And now from here on out, we're going to be going through those steps. So a whole bunch of steps get skipped on turn 1. So I'm looking at it. We get to do the equipment phase one more time. So let's do equipment phase. Oh, by the way, we get to move people. So we went through 3 rounds, and I only moved Edith on the first round. So we could have moved other people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Drayden Fox to the police station, because we're okay with him getting arrested. And is there anybody else we want to move? I'm thinking like we could even like move these home guards back. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have room for 1 more in the church. I mean, we could put Arthur Pendrake in the church. So that way he increases the limit. So let's say we did that. So now the church limit is 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we could move these 2 in there during the move phase. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're drawing the equipment. Ooh, that's what we're talking about right there. So we got ourselves a Bren, and it does massive damage. It rolls 4 dice. It does damage on a 5 and 6. So we're going to put that beautiful Bren right in there. And we're now cooking with Pam. That was already way better than the last game. And so what is next? Remember, there's a lot of things skipped on turn 1. So we now get to German placement. And then German move. Okay. So let's do German placement. And we use this for the German placement. So I rolled a 5, and we're on turn 1. And a 5 is they're coming from the north. So now we're going to roll to see where. They're going to come from the 6th location. We'll find that in a second. and then we're going to see how many of them are coming. I rolled a 4, and a 4 is 5. 5 of them are coming. So that was not a good start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we said they're coming in the 6th location. So that is exactly where this is. So 5 of them are right there in the cricket pavilion. Okay, so then we have German movement. They're not going to move because they're stuck where they are. And then we're going to do British combat, German advance, and then recovery. So we can do combat. The unfortunate thing is that those cricket players are the only ones that can hit them. And all they have are bats. So if we roll a 9 and a 6, we're going up against 5 of them. That's a really tall order. So I think we're going to just defend. So in other words, I'm not going to attack, and then we're going to just let them attack. So there's 5 of them, and so we come over here. They're going to roll 6 dice. That's a lot of dice. And they don't have any control markers, but they get a 7th die because of the terrain. And they get a hit. Just 1 though. But the cricket team is now wounded. And that's it. That's the end of the first round. We now go to turn 2. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back over, and now we get to do a full turn. So first thing that happens is we decide our strategy. And you know me, if you watch the first series, we're doing a German. So you can see here it's number 30. All right, so we get to use our cool new sheet. I have these sheets I printed out from Board Game Geek, and whoever did this is awesome. So we can look at number 30. They get a +4, and event 39 is discarded from the tactical events. So I got to go in and remove 39, which is this one, which is the King's Speech. So that one is now gone, and we have ourselves a shuffle we need to do, and so we'll just shuffle. Okay, so shuffling is done, and then anyways, this is very nice. So if you're into the flavor text, watch the first video. I'm moving on. I'm not doing flavor text in this one. I'm just playing the game. The flavor text actually is the reason why I personally think I was missing things, because it causes such a huge delay or pause in the gameplay that I actually forget what I was doing. But the flavor text does immerse you into the game, and I understand some of you that might be the thing that appeals to you. And anyways, if you have your own copy, obviously you can do that and slow down and really just enjoy this like a fine wine. But I'm going to rush through this a little bit. I want to get another playthrough in and have the rules more crisp. And so anyways, we're going to use this a lot. So they get a +4 to their roll. They roll the red die, we roll the blue die. And so they are going to, actually we roll the red die, they roll the blue die. But, sorry I had that backwards. But yes, they blew us out of the water. They would have won anyways. And as you saw from the chart, even if we had picked the British one, all the British ones have +1 except for just 3 cards. So there was a real good chance that we were going to lose this roll anyways. So what happens is the invasion marker moves up by 1 as a result of that roll failing. Now you can see there it's a -1 in the corner. So now we get to do a tactical event card. So our tactical event is tea, biscuits, and bandages. So it's 55, and we happen to have a cool little sheet with 55 on it. And it says the shop must be British controlled and occupied. It is. place 1 medical kit in the shop, and you need to roll a 4. So we're going to go ahead and try to deploy this. We need to roll a 4, and we rolled a 5. Now remember, they said -1, so we still succeeded. Now, they did have a question mark on the BGG printout, so I will go look up 55 in the manual just to make sure. And it says it's the same as event 32. And event 32, yeah, it's a 4. So maybe they were guessing because you have to flip around. But yes, it's a 4, and so we get a med kit in the shop. So that's pretty good news. And remember, the med kit doesn't count towards the carry limit. Normally you can only carry 1 item, but he can also carry a med kit along with that item. And I was wondering why I was zoomed in so much. So anyways, we are done with that. So now we move to the equipment phase. Technically, the equipment phase was before the tactical. I kept telling you I'm doing this more crisp, and look at me, I'm already making mistakes. But anyways, the equipment phase was a shotgun, which is a very welcome item. And now would be the tactical phase, and then now is the character phase. So the character is 102, and we'll get out our sheet again. And you'll see that 102 is Thorncroft and Drake must occupy the same square. Stack Thorncroft and Drake together. For as long as this event is deployed, the British terrain modifier roll may be repeated once per turn. All results from the first roll are ignored. The event is removed as soon as the men no longer occupy the same square. So if they occupy the same square, we can deploy this, and the terrain roll modifier may be repeated once per turn, and it's just saying that we would ignore the first roll if we repeat it. So basically, if we miss, we get a second chance. And it's Thorncroft and Drake. So Thorncroft is not very far from Drake. In fact, he's the one sitting in the shop up there, and Drake, of course, is the one in the police station. So that's a good one. We can't activate it yet because they're not together, but I will set it over here to the side, and we can activate it at a later turn. That's a good one to activate when we start getting the bad ones, and we don't want the bad ones to activate, because remember, we're forced to do at least 1 every round. And I think it's only 1. I don't think we can do more than 1. Okay, so next, after the character, is the British movement. So for movement, the Thorncroft there is going to interrogate. We're going to try to get our arrest done. We have a Bren here, so we can get a character moving. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is let's try to get this South Sussex Hunt Club to move with that Bren. And we got a 4, which is perfect. So he's got a 5. He's going to take the Bren, and he's going to move 1, 2, 3, like so. And then now we're going to say Merry Christmas to all those 7th Flieger units over there. So that's perfect. I mean, the South Sussex Hunt Club has the perfect weapon for them. Now, we do have a shotgun here. A red unit can use a shotgun. Daisy would benefit from the shotgun more than this pistol. So I'm thinking maybe I would give her the shotgun. We could give it to the Women's Institute, but I'm sort of holding out because they have the gold numbers. So let's roll for the Women's Institute. I got a 1, so I got her in there. So we're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we can have 9. So we can have 2 more in there. I could give the shotgun to James Arnold. So any of these guys with the red on them could use the shotgun. It's just that the ones with the zeros aren't very good. She at least has a 1, so she has a better shot. I mean, obviously the Women's Institute has a 2, so they would benefit with the shotgun. And then, of course, the Home Guard can use the shotgun. But I'm sort of holding out for the very rich gold items. Okay, who else is moving? I'm keeping them on the North Road. There's a part of me that wants to maybe move Clark back to the church because he just has a grenade. These people with just the grenades, I mean, if anything, I would move them back to the church so they can at least, if they at least had a shotgun, that's better than the grenade. This grenade is a one-time use, and then it's out of the, we take it off the board. So if he had the shotgun, which is also a 2, he's already a better unit. So let's see if somebody can carry the shotgun to him. So I'm going to roll for McGowan here. Well, actually, we'll replace him. So we're going to have Hartwell roll. So I rolled a 4. So Hartwell is going to take the shotgun and move 1, 2, 3 to here. Okay? And then Hodges is just going to pick up maybe the Mills, for example. And then we're going to roll. And I got a 5. And then Hodges is going to go back to the church. And then he's just going to drop the Mills there. And then wait for a better weapon. So we just sort of swapped them out. We made sure that a guy with a gun was down there. Now, the question is do we really want him to be in the West Woods? This isn't that bad. It's way better than this one. And I'm okay with that. So Clark is another one I would maybe like to move. But for now, I'm going to leave him there. I'll only move him when I have somebody to replace him. Do we want to move Thorncroft over to the police station? We can, but remember, he's going to be interrogating at the police station, so there's a chance that Thorncroft will end up being the bad guy. So that would backfire on us. So I think I'm going to leave Thorncroft be for now. The pub is the pub. We can't do anything about that. The teachers have the acid, but Miss Featherlake has nothing. So maybe it'd be nice to get her something. Maybe she can pick up the Mills, the grenade. Not sure what to do there. I'm going to leave everything, I think, be. I don't think we're going to move anybody else. This Daisy thing, Daisy would have benefited from the shotgun, but I'm going to leave her be as well. Yeah, we're just going to let it go. There is a part of me that wants to move the farmhands up to the pub because if you remember the Betty from the pub, if somebody does melee damage, they get 2 hits with her. And I think that's only once. I mean, it's not, so if all 3 of them, if there were 3 characters there and all 3 of them hit, she only gets to add 1 extra damage, I think, 1 time. But let me look it up. It just says +1 close combat hit. It doesn't say it's a one-time use. That's the part that you have to sort of interpret the rules. Add 1 hit to any successful close combat attack from her square. So any successful. But it doesn't say all successful. So I'm assuming it's just once. It's still pretty good. That's the point I'm trying to make. And we can move the farmhands up there. And Miss Featherlake could move up there as well, because you'll notice there's 3 weapons there that are melee, and there's only 2 people. So, yeah, let's do that. We're going to move the farmhands. And, of course, they only got a 1, so they move to there. Let's move Miss Featherlake to the pub. And she got a 5, so she can't move. We did get to do the recovery phase. So Miss Featherlake was going to try to make a Degal, and she would have failed. So, see, I'm already forgetting stuff. First video of where I said I'm going to do it better, and I'm already going back to last turn. Apologies. I think it's just a game. There's just so much going on. I want to move those cricket guys out of there because they're wounded. So let's try that. You got a 3. They still move on a 4. So let's go 1, 2, 3 into the church. Can I get in here? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, there is room for them. I'm trying to get them to the surgery so they can heal. And let's get those guys out of the cricket pitch. So Sharma there, oops, just one die, cannot move. Thorncroft can move, but it's only a 1. I guess I'll leave Thorncroft where he is. And then last but not least, let's do the police interrogation. And here we roll 2 dice. And I rolled a 6, which is Thorncroft. So had I moved Thorncroft in, yeah. Okay, and then the gossip Edith lets me roll twice. So I rolled a 7, and it's Arthur Pendrake, who's not there. So remember, that's who we arrested last time, because he's just so easy to roll his number. But this time we tried something different, so we didn't catch anybody. Okay, British movement's done. German placement. We still only have the 7th Infantry. So I rolled an 8, and we're going to flip this back over. And you can see that an 8 is the west. And from the west, they're going to go into 7, which is where the bridge is. And they rolled a 6, which means a 6 means 3 units are going to be placed. So 1, 2, 3, almost the entire stack of 7th Flieger is already gone. And it's going to go here. And this actually was there. Okay, so now British combat. So this guy, Ford, is going to attack them. He gets to roll 3 dice, and a 5 or a 6 hits. And I did get a 6. The other 2 were crap. And so I killed 1. And then I have a 2 here. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. And they both missed, so nothing happens there. Okay, so then we're going to come over to here. And the Hunt Club has that Bren. So you can see the Bren is a 4. And then also a 2. So we get to roll 6 dice. I'm going to just move the camera over so I have... And they hit on a 5 and a 6. So you can see there's 2 hits here. So we did 2 hits on that stack. Like that. Okay. So now we get to do 2 more dice. But these ones are only hitting on a 6. And we rolled a 6. And so another one dies. All right, so now it's the Germans' turn. So we'll start with the one we're already on. There's 2 of them there. And if we look, 7th Flieger, 2 people gets to roll 3 dice. And then a 4th die because of the terrain. So here's 4 dice. And they're all misses. So very good. And then over here, we have 2 people again, so 3 dice. And then we're going to add 2 dice because the bridge has a terrain modifier of 2. And all misses. Already a better start compared to last game. Okay, so Germans don't get to advance. And now we're on recovery. So with recovery, the only thing that I see that can happen is Miss Featherlake is going to try to make a de Gaulle, and she failed. And that's it. So now we move to turn 3. All right, so we gotta pick our strategy card, and you guys know me. I like the Germans. So we're gonna do 21. And 21 is a +2. So red is us, blue is the Germans, and the Germans had us blown out of the water anyways, so it does move up to a 4. So now we do an equipment grab, and let's hope for something good. And we get a Thompson. All right. Now we're cooking. So we have a Thompson, and I put it on the church, and let's keep moving. So now we get a tactical card. Here comes the cavalry, 46. We like that one. We like that one a lot. So let's try to do 46. So it says the bridge, the East Orchard, the main road, or the bridle path must be British controlled. Also the shop. We haven't lost anything yet, I don't think. So we have to get a 6. And we get a -1 to our die roll. So we rolled a 10, so it happens. And now we're gonna roll, and if we get a 5 or a 6, that's an American. And I rolled a 3, so we get a British unit. No complaints about that at all. So the British unit, and then it gets to be deployed. What number is this? 46. In the special case area. So it could be on the bridge, the East Orchard, the main road, or the bridle path. So the main road obviously is a nice spot. East Orchard is way up there. That's actually a good spot because as you notice, we're not defending it very well. The bridle path is here, but I think I'm gonna put him on the bridge because we just have one guy with a rifle defending that, and nobody else is really going to help him. Am I really gonna do that? I mean, I could put him on East Orchard and try to move him over to help against the cricket pavilion. But I think the cricket pavilion's pretty well defended. I think this guy is very powerful over here. Yeah, I'm gonna put him on the bridge. Let's not waste any more time with that. Okay, that was a wonderful tactical event. This game is going already swimmingly different compared to the first one. Although the invasion marker is moving quite a lot. Okay, so now we go to the character event phase. So let's see what we get. Uh-oh, it's red, 106. So let's see what we get here. $106. It says turn 8+. Okay, so we have to wait until turn 8. Move either Drake or Arnold from their current square and place them so they are in the same location on top of each other. The character moved is the one with the least number of friendly units in their current square. If this is the same in both squares, choose randomly. Once in the same square, both men are incapacitated. If Arnold and Drake are alone in a square when this event is in play, then at the start of each British combat phase, roll 1d6, and on a 6, one or possibly both characters are killed and removed from play. If either character is killed, the event is removed. Holy cow. Thorncroft and... It says Drake or Arnold. Recovers on 6. 5 or 6 if Thorncroft or Reynolds are present. So this is a very complicated one. And so Arnold and Drake are getting into a fight with each other, huh? Well, the thing is if Drake gets killed, that really limits the number of... Anyways, this doesn't happen until turn 8. So we don't have to play a character card right now. Next. British movement. Drake is going to interrogate again. We have a wonderful Thompson here with the Women's Institute. So we're going to roll to move them. So we rolled a 1, and I'm going to move them towards the main road to help out in that direction. Okay, so and then we're going to try to move this cricket team that's injured, and they get a 2. So they hit the corner, and they're 1 away from the surgery. I'm going to go ahead and try to move him over so he can try to heal them now, this round. I know it's not as good as the surgery, but why not? We're going to try to move Clark and his grenade back. So I rolled a 5. and he's gonna go back to the church. So we now have 4 home guard there, and then I'm just gonna put the grenades up on top. Okay, what else do we need to move? I'm okay with Hartwell being down here with the shotgun. It would probably be nice to have somebody help him, but that's the idea, is I want to get another weapon. I could have McGowan come down with that crappy pistol, but I'm not going to. We're going to wait. Oh, this farmhand. Let's move the farmhand here. We got a 6. So they moved successfully up here. So we're going to put the farmhand with the pitchfork, like so. We're going to give her the darts and the regulars the bottles. Then let's move Miss Featherlake up. And she got a 6. She still can't move. Actually, this is 2, 4, 5. They can't, there's no more movement allowed up there. It would be nice to get these pull cues to her, but there's a stacking limit there. Now the rules don't say, can I move in, pick up the pull cues and move out, right? The stacking limit is for how many characters can be in that square, but can I temporarily move through the square? I'm going to assume yes. That's something that wasn't very clear. Okay, we're gonna try to move this guy in the cricket over, Sharma here, and we're going to take him over with the gammon and see if we can, I mean, he's just there to help. The cricket pitch is very dangerous, and he can't carry 2 items. That's the problem. So the fact that the De Gaulle was also there, I really probably shouldn't have put the gammon with him. In fact, I'm going to fine. I'm going to leave it as is. What's the De Gaulle? The rules with the De Gaulle. After use, roll 1d6 on a 5 to a 6. Return to equipment container if school or garage is in British hands. If they are not, remove permanently from play. So, anything else we need to move? I think that's good. The teachers, obviously, I probably should have just moved the teachers up and left the farmhands down here, but that's fine. We'll leave it be. I forgot with the 5 limit there, that's the best I can do, because those villagers are a whole group of people, so they count as 2 towards the stacking limit. Anyways, that corner is pretty strong. All right, moving on. We go to German placement. So we're going to do the 7th Flieger Corps. And I got an 11. So we need to flip this over. We are on turn 3, so 11 is east. And 11 is east. So they're coming from the east. Let's roll. They're coming at space 9, which is open. So how many of them are coming? 4 of them. There's only 2 available. Okay, and then their KIA stack is actually flipping over. All right, and then I'll show you where 9 is. 9 is this Hangman's Lane. So they're gonna show up there and then they're moving out and they take that square. So they do have a spot occupied. And then we are on 4 on the invasion track. So now the 5th Light Infantry. And what I did was I changed these so they're in the order that they unlocked now. So 5th Light Infantry is 9, which is the west. And spot number 4, which is the North Stream. And only one of them. So we grab it, and he is going to move out and claim the North Stream. But then he's going to stop. Okay, so it's now British combat. So let's start over here. We do them one at a time. And so what I think I'm going to do is let's start with the bar people. We're going to try to pummel the crap out of this guy, melee. So Betty is going to go first. And she rolls a 9 or a 5. She rolled a 3. Now, in the last game, she got to do a reroll because we had a character card, but that's not the case here. So now we do the pub regulars. It's 5 or 8, and I got a 5. Boom. They actually do 2 hits, but there's only 1 there. So we killed that guy with the melee. So that was awesome. And now our gun guys can focus, because they could have shot either direction. Now they can focus on this. So let's do the infantry unit. The regular, and you can see I rolled 2 6s, so we just killed 2 guys. So we cleared this side of the board. Now we go up there, and you can see that the Sussex Club is a 2, and the Bren is a 4. So we're rolling a lot of dice. And not a single one of them hit. How crappy is that? So now we got the guy with the grenade, but he's not going to roll. We're going to roll for the pavilion. And we did get a hit for the train. So one of them is down. And the 7th Infantry with 1 unit gets to roll 2 dice. And then 1 more because of the pavilion. And oh my gosh, they rolled 2 6s. So the Hunt Club and Sharma both take a hit. Had I not moved Sharma in there, one of them would have died. That's awful. Okay, so 3 dice, 2 of them hit. I guess it was bound to happen. Okay, German advance phase. None of them are advancing. They're still all, well, there's only, oh, hold on. There's 1 more German over here. So let's take care of that. Oh, during the movement phase, we were supposed to do the interrogation. So let's do that. So I rolled an 11. That's Mrs. Featherlake. Roll again. That's a 4. That's Dr. Greystone. So nothing happened. Okay, so now we do attack. We're going to attack with him. It's 5 dice. And 5s and 6s hit, and I hit 4 times. So they're all eliminated. So now we go to recovery. We're going to see if this cricket team can heal. And they don't. And we're going to see if Featherlake makes a de Gaulle, and she doesn't. And I think that's all recovery does. Let's move to turn 4. Okay, start of the turn, we do strategy. And you know me, I'm doing German, 23. So 23 is a +2. They are the blue die, we are red. And see, they're winning anyways, even without our bonus. So the invasion marker moves to a 5. We draw a tactical event card. No, we draw an equipment. And so we got to get an equipment out of here. And big bucks, no whammies. Hey, isn't that what? Yeah, it's what we already got. So we got both of them. Awesome. So we got another much better start than last game. And this is what I was used to. Okay, so now we do the tactical event phase, and we got, oh, another medical kit, I'm guessing, 42. The schoolhouse must be British controlled and occupied. Place 1 medical kit in the schoolhouse. That is exactly what it is, and we need to roll a 4. And right now the modifier is 0. So we got enough. And yes, we're going to activate that and get a med kit in the schoolhouse. So no worries there. Okay, so we did that. Now it's the character phase. We got 86, but this can't happen until turn 8. So I'm going to set it off to the side. What does 86 do? It says, James Arnold remains in play until either event 64 or 65 are deployed. At that point, Arnold must attempt to move towards the square containing the Rolls-Royce or the Norton. As soon as he enters the square, no other character or unit may use these vehicles. If in any following British movement phase, Arnold is still in the square with the vehicle, he and the vehicle are removed permanently from play. Once in the square with the vehicle, Arnold is incapacitated. Oh, that is quite the story. I bet there's some interesting flavor that goes with that one. Maybe we'll read those. Okay. That was character. Next is British movement. Okay, we're going to interrogate. We have this Women's Institute here. We're going to try to roll them. So I rolled a 3, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them in the North Road along with Taylor. Okay, we got another Thompson here, and I think what I want to do is get a character out to help Hartwell down here. And so we're going to move McGowan with the Thompson. So I got a 5, and McGowan with the Thompson is going to come down to here. So now we got some good firepower going on down here. And I'm very happy with how that's going. That's going according to plan. We still have James Arnold just sort of sitting there. I'm going to roll and see if he rolls enough movement to just pick up that pistol. And he does. He has a 6 on him. So he's going to go 1, 2, pick up the pistol, and then go 3, 4 right back to where he was. So now he at least has a ranged attack to slow down the Germans. So that's good. And then Mr. Blunderbuss up here, he's going to move to the cricket pavilion with the med kit. So let's roll. I rolled a 2. That's just enough for him to get up here with his blunderbuss, and then the med kit is going to be there so they can heal. Anybody else? I'm going to move the farmhands back to the farm. So I rolled a 6. So they're going to carry with them the pool cues and go 1, 2, 3, 4 back to the farm and declare a thumb war along the way. And then the teacher now has the pool cues. And then we're going to move this teacher with the acid up. So I rolled a 6, which means they can't move. So then I'm going to try Miss Featherlake. Or am I? Yeah, sure. I rolled a 3. So she'll move up and help them up there. I still have room for one more melee, as long as it's not, a group. So I can even get like James Arnold or something, or even we can get Edith up there. I bet you she knows some Taekwondo. Okay, so movement phase. Let's not forget this time to do the arrest. So here's our chart, and we're going to roll. And there's a 3. Edith Finley, you are our traitor. So I said that the rules are crisp, and they are. But this is something that I still have to go step by step through. It doesn't happen very often. Okay, so we did our roll. We found her. She's been revealed. So now there's going to be a shootout. And for each British unit in the square with the chaplain, we roll 1d6 for us and then 1 for her. If the chaplain was revealed, the British gets to go first. If she was activated through the game, then she goes first. So there's this chart here. And the person that revealed the chaplain is Sergeant Drake. So he's going to get to roll 4, 5, or 6. If he succeeds, he kills her. And if, and then of course we also have Drayden, who has to roll, Drayden Fox would have to roll 6 if Sergeant Drake fails. Now here's the sticky point. She then fires back and she could hit us. I think she has to roll a 6. And she's either killed, captured, or escaped. If she's killed, we just get 1 to our terrain modifiers this turn. If she's captured, we get all kinds of bonuses in the final battle. But if she escapes, the Germans get all kinds of bonuses in the final battle. So we don't want her to escape. To capture her, we would need to have a whole, we'd almost have to do the interrogation in the church, so there's a whole bunch of guys, like the home guards and stuff, to try to capture her. So we want to kill her. So I'm going to go with Drake, and we're going to roll to kill, and a 4, 5, 6 does exactly that. So 50% chance. And there it is, a 4. So we killed Finley. She's our traitor, and she's now out of the game. Now, the thing with Finley and the traitor being caught is all of our sabotage markers, if we were to draw any, they still cause us to lose the turn, at least the way I understood the rules. But instead of them going back in the cup, they go permanently out of the game. So she won't be sabotaging us anymore. And by having her killed, they would get a big bonus if we made it to the end of the game and never found her. So that helps. And it's possible some of these events might help that she's dead too. So anyways, that's going to allow us to now focus on winning the game instead of all this nonsense. So the movement phase is over. Now we go to German placement. So we're going to do the Flieger Corps. And here you go. You can see the chart. And we rolled a 7. It's turn 4. And you can see they're coming from the west. So where at from the west? They're going to come in space number 5. And then how many? I rolled a 7. There's going to be 3 of them. And there are 3 available. So we don't have any issues there. And I'll show you real quick where they rolled. They're coming here in this corner. And then, of course, they're going to move out on their movement phase. Next is the 1st Infantry. It's a 4. They're going to come from the east in the 6th spot. And there's going to be 2 of them. So we grab 2, and they're coming right here because there's number 6. And they do not move. Okay, now it's British combat. Well, first things first. Let's resolve this nonsense up here. Thorncroft gets 5 dice. And there's 2 6s right there. He only needed 1. The unit is dead. So no attack back from the Germans there. Then we come over to here. And there's 3 of them, and we're going to do our guns first. We're only going to do melee last. So I get 5 dice for our British regular, and there was 1 hit. So 1 kill there. And then we have this guy with the Lee Enfield, so he rolls 3 dice, and he hits on a 5 or 6. There's a 6, so a second one is out. And then their terrain bonus gives them a 2. And there was a 6 there. So the gun guys did it all by themselves. And now we move over to here. 2 guys here. We have 5 dice with the Thompson. So the Women's Institute. Hit 1. And then we're going to do 5 dice with the Lanchester, and 5s and 6s hit, so there's 2 hits right there. We just took out the next one. Okay, this is like clockwork. I can't tell you whether or not it's because I played another playthrough just earlier today, and since this is my 2nd time, I'm just doing smarter decisions. But I can tell you we've gotten some awesome draws from this cup. And the tactical events have been, and I guess we got med kits and 2 of them, but that's still pretty good. I like med kits. So, okay, moving on. It's German combat phase. There's not a German on the board. And now we do recovery. Oh, we forgot one thing during the movement phase. We wanted to move this guy with a 4, and he moves, and then we wanted to move him with a 5, and he would move, because we wanted them to be in the surgery. All right, now we're going to try to recover, and we needed a 5 or a 6. So now we're going to do up there, there's a med kit with them. And so there's 2 injured guys up there, and we're going to make the blue the one with the Bren, and the red is the other guy. And they heal on a 5 or 6. If either of them roll a 1, then the med kit is destroyed. And so I said this was the Bren one, and I think that's the home guard. So home guard healed, and the med kit stays alive for another day. So that's good. And I can't think of anything else that, oh, the teacher can try to make a de Gaulle. And of course she fails. And now we move to turn 5. So it's 10 a.m. Okay, so strategy. You know me, 29. That's a bad one for us, by the way. That's a +4. So we're the red, and we still rolled bad. So I'm thinking we're making the right choice every time here. So now we draw from the cup, and it is a pistol. All right, not very exciting. Next, of course, how am I complaining? I just drew some awesome stuff already. Okay. Next is the tactical phase. So let's see what the tactical phase brings us. There'll be blue birds over 60 here. So let's see what 60 brings us. This looks like a aircraft one. Select one square or approach box containing German units. Roll 1d6 for each unit. On 3, 4, 5, or 6 for infantry, or 5 or 6 for armor, the German unit is hit. If there are British units in any adjacent squares, roll 1d6 for these units. On a roll of 6, that unit takes a hit. If it's an armor unit, remove it permanently from play. Okay, so this one has the capability of damaging armor. I'm wondering if we should wait and use this later. And I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to use it. We'll wait and use that later. So we're allowed to do that. And that brings us to the character phase. This is not a good one. 91. There's no turn number on this one either. Okay, she must be in the schoolhouse. She's not. Miss Featherlake is incapacitated. She recovers on a 6 or a 5 or 6 if Thorncroft or Woods present. Event removed. What's Woods? I guess it means you're in the woods. So that's 91. I'm going to go ahead and get out the flavor text for this one. The character events, it is more interesting to get the flavor on these. So, play up, and play the game. Miss Featherlake's defense of her school became indeed surpassed, the stuff of legend, according to Pitts, but the passion she showed was not without its drawbacks, not least when she demanded an end to all firing from the schoolhouse due to what she described as the sacrilegious damage being done to the school hockey pitch. Effect: move Miss Featherlake 1 square to the right on the chaplain track. In addition, Miss Featherlake is incapacitated. In the recovery phase, roll 1d6 on a roll of 6 or a 5 or 6 if it's Earl Thorncroft or Daisy Woods are in the square. She recovers and the event is removed. Special case, Miss Featherlake must be in the schoolhouse. So we can't do that event. In fact, we have 4 events now that can't be done, although one of them is waiting until turn 8. So that one will happen when turn 8 comes. So yeah, we got 4 character events sitting there waiting to happen. Okay, so we don't want to move her back to the schoolhouse, I guess. British movement. Our police officer with the Lee Enfield no longer needs to stay in the police station. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do with him is I can move him up to the cemetery, or I can move him to East Orchard. Yeah, I'm going to try to move him. So I rolled a 2. So let's go to the cemetery. He can still shoot in. If somebody comes here, they would progress, or they can infiltrate, but we're going to leave Drayden Fox there as a blockage. That's a giant mess up there. I don't know if I need all those guys at the Cricket Pavilion, but I'm okay. Let's actually, the home guard I want to move out. He just has a grenade. So I'm going to roll 6 and he doesn't move. Those teachers in the schoolhouse, I'm going to move them. And I'm going to move them 4 spaces. And so they're going to move 1 and drop off the med kit. Then they're going to go 2 and 3. And we're going to stop here. And the reason I'm doing that is in case they come in from here, I need something to stop them. Obviously, they'll stop them. And if they come in from here, they'll make it to the newspaper, and then we stop them. So maybe I want to move them to the newspaper. This is so rare. It's a 2 and a 12. Do we take the gamble? Losing the newspaper, I mean, this is a good spot. If anything, we maybe want to move back from the barn to the newspaper. And then that makes this a solid play against that and against that. Obviously, if they come in here, these guys would stop them from moving right away. But I think I'm going to leave it be for now. The 2 and 12 is really rare, so I'm not going to worry about it. The 9, 10, and 11 is not as rare. So that's the reason why I moved the teachers like I did. Obviously, we want to protect the schoolhouse, but as long as the bridge holds, that schoolhouse will hold. And as long as the pub holds, that schoolhouse will be fine. The police station is a little weak, but we have crossfire if anybody appears in that square. Surgery Lane is wide open, and so is this. But they will stop because we have crossfire. We just need to get more weapons and stuff going. Okay, so we're done with our German movement phase. Our phase. So now it's German placement. So there's our little chart right here. And it's the 7th Flieger Corps. I rolled a 5. It's turn 5. He's coming from the west. So rolling for the west, and there's a 10. And how many of them? 2. Okay, there's only 1 unit available. And then a really giant stack of them in the KIA pile is now flipping over. So we rolled a 9, and he's appearing here and then coming out and taking that location. So the teachers are going to prevent him from moving, so that was the right call. But those would have also prevented him. But the teachers will prevent him from infiltrating, which is a bigger thing. So now we go to the 5th Infantry. I rolled a 2. They're going to come from the north. Spot number 7, which is the cricket pavilion that we have everybody at. And it's going to be 4 5 units. 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were definitely 5 available. So 5 units are going to appear there, and of course they don't move. And now we're at invasion level 6. So now the first infantry are coming out. So we have a 6, they're coming from the south on spot number 6. And it's an 8, there's going to be 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll move this out of the way a little bit. And they're coming out in this spot here. And of course they're going to move forward like so. And this is an issue because they can plow forward there. So I think I want to get the farmhands into the bank to prevent any infiltration. But it's a little too late. We got to kill these guys now before they do their infiltration roll. And that they got a real good infiltration number. That 4 there means that they'll infiltrate on a 4 or less. So only a 5 or 6 would prevent them from moving forward. That's bad. That's very bad. Okay, the Germans are done with their movement phase. Now it's British combat. Okay, so we got a lot to do here. So I'm going to do this guy with the shotgun. 3 dice. And we're going to attack there. And he missed. Those would have been nice numbers. This one has 4 dice. Mr. McGowan here. And he missed. And then there's a terrain modifier of 1, which is also a miss. So bad start. So now we come over to these ones. And we have a shotgun, which is going to be 5. And those are all misses. I do need a better. And then Daisy has 2 dice. Those are misses. And then we have the farmhands with pitchforks, which would only be able to kill one of them, even if they did succeed. We're in trouble. This is pathetically bad. We missed with everything. Oh, and then we got a terrain modifier of 2, which are also misses. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and resolve their attack while we're on this space. They have 4 first infantry. So you can see here they have 4 first infantry. They're going to roll 2 dice. There is a control token for 3 dice. And then which one are they going to attack? They're going to attack the one that has the most people. This has 2, that one has 3. So they're going to attack the old barn. And so that adds another die. So that's going to be 4 dice for them. And they only hit, of course, on a 6. And of course they roll a 6. So they just did a hit. And I don't know who to hit. Oh, there's a priority. Never mind. Hold on. It's the church square that contains the most square. Casualty priority. Regulars are first, home guard, and then villagers. So the farmhands take the hit. Okay, that hurts. And now they're going to try to do an infiltration. So it's just 1 die roll for each of them. And if they roll a 4 or less, they move. So 1, 2, 3 of them move, and the 4th one doesn't. So 3 move. And the bank is now under their control. So we had a hole, and they just plowed right through it. Largely because we missed constantly. Okay, there's nothing on the east side. So let's go to the west side. There's 1 unit. Just 1 guy. And we have a lot of guns there. So I'm going to do the Lee Enfield guy first. 3 dice. There's a 6. He's dead. So no worries there. Then we go up here, and there's a whole bunch of units. Let's start with our Bren. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dice. Hits on 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3 hits. 3 hits. And then the blunderbuss is 5 dice, but it only hits on a 6. Those are all misses. And then the guy with the grenade is going to go ahead and attack with the grenade. And he misses, and the gammon is out. Okay, so the two guys that are left, that's the 5th Infantry. They get 1 die. And, oh, we get 2 dice first. And those missed. Okay, they get 1 die and then 1 die for the pavilion terrain modifier. And, of course, they hit. So they're going to hit Sharma, because it always hits the home guard first. And so that's unfortunate. But we are now done. Okay, so we move to the recovery phase, and we have this cricket guy. He heals on a 5 or a 6. He rolled a 6, so he's healed, and he can get back in the action. That's good. The med kit. We're going to do blue for the hunting club and red for Sharma, and as long as we don't roll a 1, I'm happy. Okay, blue heals, so the hunt club healed, but Sharma didn't, and neither rolled a 1, so the med kit stays. This med kit is awesome. Okay, so hunt club healing is really good for us. And we're going to roll to see if the teacher makes a Degal, and of course it doesn't. And I think we're done. So we move to turn 6. Strategy phase. It is 25, which is a +3. They're the blue. That was the one time it actually did hurt us, so it moves to a 7. And we're going to keep going. You know what, maybe I should do another playthrough where I only go British strategy cards and see if that makes a difference. I don't know. Okay, now it's the equipment phase. We have to draw something, and we are sabotaged. Now, the good news with this is that we found the traitor, and so this is out of the game. So I just got to put it somewhere that's considered out of the game, and I'll just put it over here. The bad news is we don't get to draw another one. At least there's nothing in the rules to indicate that. So next is the tactical event. Yeoman of the Guard, 51. So let's see what that one is. The bridge or the main road must be British controlled. Also the shop must be occupied. They all are. Place the A13 cruiser counter in either the bridge or the main road. The location must be British controlled. Ooh, look what we get. What do we have to roll to get that? This is what, 51? I need to roll an 8. And we get a +1 to our die roll because the invasion counter moved up. Let's go, 8, 8, 8, 8. Oh, I rolled a 6, +1 is 7. It's not enough. Okay, we don't lose the card though. It's still there. And I'm going to put that little beautiful tank right on top of it. Okay, so that is a very exciting, very, very exciting tactical card, but we didn't get it. So now the character card, which I'm always worried about. No. We got this before. Come on. 119. As soon as I said no, the grandfather clock chimed. That's how evil that card is. All right, 119. Cannot be deployed if event 118 or 20 is already deployed, or if Captain McGowan is not on the board. From the upcoming British movement phase, you may not move any Home Guard units from their current location. During the recovery phase, we have to roll 6, or a 5 or 6 if Sergeant Taylor is on the same spot as McGowan. The problem is we can't move Sergeant Taylor because so we can't ever get him on the same spot as McGowan. And if McGowan ever dies, it actually goes away. I think in the first playthrough, McGowan did die, and I forgot to remove this card. So they are now stuck again. Oh, makes me so angry. The good news is I have 3 of them in the church. The bad news is they're stuck. So I was going to move these guys to start attacking here, but look, I can't move them now. So we have to play this card. There's no other card we can play. So it's happening. So now it's our British movement phase. Okay, so this cricket team is able to move, and we're going to move them 6. So we can move them 3 spaces. So what I'm going to do with them is have them go 1, 2, 3, and that's not where I want them to be, but I at least want them to get up there to help guard that northerly direction. Now, this mess, these guys can't move, so we have to move Daisy and Reynolds. So let's start with Reynolds. I rolled a 6, so he's going to move 1, 2, 3, like so. Nope, he's going to move here. And then Daisy, I rolled a 1, so she's only going to move there. And now we're going to move the pitchforks. And I rolled a 6, and they can't move. So I should have stuck with my initial gun and put Reynolds there. And now I have nobody to block these Germans from infiltrating up. So what I'm going to have to do is move Arthur Pendrake then. So I rolled a 4 for him. So he's going to just move up 1 space with this pistol. And he's going to shoot from the square. And I'm looking around. That Sharma guy, I was getting ready to move him, but obviously he can't move at all. And he's still injured, so he wants to stay at the med kit anyways. This police officer is in a spot that's not as, it's not going to have a lot of traffic of troops. So moving something like the cricket team there, or James Arnold, might be better. Or even like having Reynolds there with or Daisy Woods with her crappy pistol is the perfect thing to put up there, because you just want somebody to just block the area. But I think from a movement perspective, I'm fine. So now we move to German placement. So let's start with the 7th Flieger Corps. And we need to flip this over. All right, we're on turn number 6, so it's a 9. They're coming from the west. On spot 6, which is a place we have covered. And I rolled a 6, so there are going to be 3 of them. So 3 of them are showing up here. Okay, next is the 5th Infantry. I rolled a 7. They're going from the west on spot number 3. And I rolled a 5, so there's only going to be 1 of them. And they're showing up here and moving out. And now is the 1st Infantry. I rolled a 7. They're also coming in from the west. And I rolled a 12. Oh! And a 12. So there's going to be 5 of them coming in the place that I told you would never happen. Oh. The good news is Daisy and Reynolds are actually there. So they're showing up here and they're moving up. And they take that location. And then that's the next one. And of course they have to stop. Okay. So British phase is done. German placement and movement is done. So now we go to British combat. The east side is clear. The south is not. These guys who can't move now, they only have 1 guy to attack, and that's him. he would not have moved because there's ranged attackers on him. During the infiltration step, he'll try to move, but that's why he didn't move. So we got 4 dice here. And there's a 6 there, so we killed him, which is what we were supposed to do last time and didn't do. But now we got this pickle. There's a whole bunch of guys here, and there's a whole bunch of guys there, and they're surrounded. So we can start with Arthur Pendrake and his massive pistol. He gets to roll 1 die, and he misses, but then his terrain modifier lets him roll 1, and that misses. So Daisy and Reynolds, I think, are going to still try to get these, because they've infiltrated further. So Daisy rolls 2 dice, and she hits with 1. So this drops down to a 2, and let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to look at how many dice do they get to roll. For the 1st infantry, if there's 5 of them, they get to roll 3 dice. And here there's 2 of them. They're only going to get to roll 1 die. So Reynolds is going to turn around and shoot behind him. And he gets to roll 5 dice. He needs to get a 6 though. And he got 2 6s. So that was well done. So he just hit 2 of these. And then they get 2 more for the terrain modifier. And those are misses. Okay, so they're done with that. Now, technically speaking, I'm supposed to go around the board and do the others, but I do find it better to just resolve this fully, as long as there's no confusion. And that's the issue here. There's no confusion. These 2 will attack Daisy and Reynolds. They get 1 die for that. They get 1 for having a control marker, and it's how many control markers are next to their location. So they actually get 2 because there's another control marker over here. So there's 2 of them next to this location. So they get 2 extra dice, and then 0 more because of this. So they get to roll 3 dice, and they all miss. Okay, I'm gonna get these dice out of the way. So now over here we have 3 of them, and if I look at the chart, 3 1st infantry, they get 2 dice, and it's going to be the same deal. They're going to get 2 more for the control markers, but nothing for the terrain. And you can see none of them were a 6. This, I think, was a 4. But they all missed, and we got pretty lucky. Okay, so coming over to here, we're going to open fire with the Lee Enfield. So 3 dice coming in. And here's 2 5s, and those are 2 hits. So 2 7th units go down. And then we're going to roll for the British regular. 5 dice, and there was a 6 right here. So the last one goes down. So we cleared them out, no problem. Then we come up to here. The South Sussex Hunt team gets 6 dice because that Bren is glorious. 6 dice and only 1 hit. So that hurt. And then 5 dice for the blunderbuss. And those are all misses. And then injured Sharma can try to do a melee attack for 10. Let's do it. He misses, and then 1 die. Oh my gosh, Sharma is dead. Sharma died from the melee. I probably shouldn't have done that. It was a 1 in 6 chance. How many times do I roll a 6 when I'm trying to make a cocktail with the teacher? Never. It never happens. Ah, those punks. Okay, I forgot that there's 1 more guy here. We already did all of our attacks here. But we do get to, with the terrain modifier, roll 2 more dice. And of course they miss. So now we're going to do, let's do the melee attacks. The pub regulars need an 8 or a 5. That's a 10. The teacher needs an 11 or a 4. That's a 7. And then Betty Tanner needs a 9 or a 5. And there it is. There's a 9. We've been getting pretty lucky with these. So that's the 5th unit killed. Okay, so there's only, oh, I forgot. We get, before the melee attack, we actually get 2 for that. Did we do that? I don't think we did. I apologize if we did and I'm just forgetting. Okay, those were misses, so no worries there. So that 5th unit gets to roll 1 die and then 1 for the terrain. And he hits twice. Oh my goodness. So 1, 2, both of them are wounded. That is ridiculous. Okay, so we're at the end of the phase. Now we do recovery. So we're gonna roll, the red die is the hunting club, the blue die is Thorncroft. The hunting club is going to heal, and thankfully we haven't rolled a 1, so that works. And then we're gonna see if the teacher makes her cocktail, and of course, see, that's the same odds, nothing happens. Now we need to roll a 6 to see if we can move the home guard. See, nothing happens. They roll 1 die and they get a 6. Okay, it moves to turn 7, and I'm at the hour and a half, so I'm gonna stop, and I'll see you in a few seconds. Stay awesome.